Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone, and today we're going to answer the question for you of should you open for speed. We'll do a full spotlight guide, a review of speed, in addition to talking about both Jeff and Iron Lad, the other spotlight cards, along with more decks than anyone else is going to give you on day one for all these cards. Let's get started by actually reviewing last week's card. Everyone keeps asking, should I get Wiccan? This is one of the more controversial new cards in recent memory, and Wiccan does not have the stats or the reputation to suggest that he should be a token buying priority, unless you need Loki, in which case you can open him with Loki and Spotlights for the last day or so here. Now, Wiccan is a very good card. Particularly, he's very, very good in Pixie Shells. So if you are a big Pixie enjoyer, or you would like to open for Wiccan with Pixie in order to play Pixie Mobius Wiccan decks, then I understand that this is a powerful and useful card. Outside of that, for me, his best shells have been various Sarah shells, where Loki, Wiccan, and Sarah, any two of the three, is extremely powerful and game winning. Outside of that, I've seen him in a lot of bounce shells and a lot of mid-range shells where there are better versions that don't run him. That's not to say he's not fun and can't eventually be a top-tier card, but as of right now, they only release good cards as a general rule, and Wiccan is just a regular good card. I think that makes him, unless you need one of these other cards, or are dying to play him because he is very fun, a general skip. In addition, we have a giveaway winner. It's Screwed by Life. Please hit me up through email, Discord, or Twitter in order to claim a season pass. Congrats on the win. All right, Bit Weekend is the Wiccan deck we're going to feature before we get to our speed section today. I wanted to give you one last look at what a cool Wiccan deck looks like, and hey, this is an expensive version, but it is a very cool version. This is from our friend BitTwiddle, who you should 1000% check out. The basic gist here is you play a lot of cheap stuff that can hopefully scale up with Marvel Boy, and then if you can get Wiccan or Gwenpool, you have a crazy power end of the game. If you can play enough cards, you can get a cheap Mockingbird and Sasquatch to go with your Iron Man, which is just overpowered game-winning stuff. If you would like, if you're interested in any content creation or any graphics, check out BitTwiddle. He does all the thumbnails, including the thumbnail at the start of this video. He also did this overlay that's nice and around me. Amazing person. Check him out. If you need help getting in touch with him, shoot me a message. Cool. Bit's awesome. You will not be disappointed. All right, Spider-Ham can be Neek or Iceman. Unfortunately, you do need the other expensive cards here. Sorry about that. They're just a requirement. There is a very, very small argument for She-Hulk over Sasquatch here, but I don't think it actually works. I tried it. It didn't work great. All right, so this is your chance to play some very, very cool cards. Turn 1 is Maria Hill. If you don't have a 2-drop, Squirrel Girl if you have Marvel Boy. If not, one of the other ones are perfectly fine. Turn 2 you would really like to Psylocke into Gwen or Wiccan. It could also be Zabu if you prefer, but I like Psylocke because Psylocke on turn 5 gives you extra options that Zabu does not. So Psylocke if Gwenpool or Wiccan is the goal here. If not, you're perfectly fine playing any of the other cheap cards. Oopsie. So if not, feel free to go with Kate Bishop. Feel free to go with that Maria Hill too, whatever you need. Turn 3, if you can play Wiccan, play Wiccan. If you can play Gwen, play Gwen. If not, Marvel Boy is better than a 2+1. And remember that playing Kate Bishop on 2 will often give you a 2+1. That's why Kate Bishop is in almost every single frickin' Wiccan deck. This deck really does need Marvel Boy because when you miss, Marvel Boy is sort of how you win. Turn 4 is the same exact thing as 3. You play Wiccan if you can, you play Gwen if you can. If you played Wiccan, you can go Marvel Boy in 1. Use as much energy as you can. Turn 5, you just sort of want to play a ton of stuff, and sometimes a ton of stuff in Iron Man, depending on how much you can have. You're going to have to count for your Sasquatch and Mockingbird here, because your goal on turn 6 is to play Sasquatch and Mockingbird together. If you play those and you have Iron Man, you're also pretty damn happy. You can often put down Sasquatch, Mockingbird, and Iron Man on the last turn. I know that sounds completely insane, but it is completely doable with this deck, particularly if you saw Squirrel Girl earlier. If you had a 7 energy turn 5 and you have a bunch of 1s and 2s to play, including some Hawkeye stuff, it's easy to get your Mockingbird down to 1. Say a Maria Hill / Agent 13 card, a couple Squirrel Girls make her a 4, right? 2 Squirrels make her a 4. 2 Kate Bishop cards make her a 2. And then you only need 1 more, because at that point you've basically got a free Sasquatch, and one more card say a Maria Hill or Agent 13 card, as the case may be, a Widow's Kiss on your side of the board. For example, we'll make Mockingbird a 1, you can get Sasquatch down to free, Iron Man is 5, and you just dominated, right? Like, especially if you manage to go Wiccan into Gwenpool at some point, 3-4, you just have so freaking much power. And all those 1s get pumped up, they get reasonably sized by Marvel Boy. Thing of beauty. Feel free to play any of the bigger cards earlier as the curve suggests, but like, this list is just phenomenal at putting out a ton of power. Props to BitTwiddle for a very cool list. Again, Wiccan is a blast. I don't think this is a meta card. I don't think this is the best deck in the game, but this is a lot of fun, and when it comes together, you just splash in freaking sane power. Hey, please hit that sub button. We're trying to hit 15,000 subs by the end of the year. We're almost at 13,000. Any extra support you could offer to help us get there would be awesome. We do 7 videos a week every week. Sometimes we do like, we do an extra video 2 or 3 times a month for the OTA and for the patch, data mines, and card updates. We give you more Marvel Snap content than anyone. If you find value in that with at least 3 new decks every single day, then please hit that sub button. We'd really appreciate it. Liking and commenting helps our reach as well, which gets us more subs, which further helps us reach our goals. We also do more giveaways. You saw I did a giveaway earlier this video. There is another giveaway of 1 season pass this week. Basically what you do is you sub, you like, you comment, and every video you comment on is a chance to win a season pass. When I get back home, I'm in Colombia right now. When I get back home, I'll pull a season pass winner from this week, and next week while I'm home, my birthday week, August 26th, I'm giving away 5 season passes. Then the week after, I'm giving away five more season passes, both for Symbiote Spider-Man. So if that's a card you have interest in, make sure you sub, make sure you ring that notification bell. Our spotlight card for this week, 820, is Speed. Speed is a 3/3, much like everything else lately, a Series 5 6,000 token card. Ongoing +1 power for each turn in which you spent all your energy. We're going to give you the TLDR on Speed right now. This is a card that can be a 3/9, but that's very hard to pull off. It's much more likely to be a 3/6 or so, which is good, but generally speaking, not worth going out of your way for. This seems like a decent card that might get buffed, might not, and if it's just decent, it will be forgotten. If you are the type of person who decides what to open based on caches, the Spotlight Speed is a thing of freaking beauty. I absolutely love this one. I don't know if I'm opening for it, but the colors on this are glorious. This purple is so nice, it's probably going to make husky puppies cry. If you know what we're talking about, you'll be amused. If not, don't stress it. Actually, that will be our comment for the video. We'll do it after talking about Jeff and Iron Lad. Also, it is Shark Week in Marvel Snap, so we've got a adorable Jeff in a bath, looking very happy with his rubber duckies, and a Jeff with Iron Lad armor, also very, very cute. Jeff and Iron Lad are 2 phenomenal cards, and these are excellent variants for them. And I'm going to ask you a silly question here. What is your favorite color? And in Marvel Snap, what card does it appear on? Cool, that's how you enter to win the season pass today. Let me know in the comments to this video. All right, synergy. So unlike Wiccan, this is not all or nothing. Wiccan either gives you the +2 energy or it doesn't. This will gain, assuming you ever spend all your energy, this will get bigger, right? It's very unlikely that this is less than a 3/5. It's very hard for me to imagine. It's going to almost always be a 3/6, and it can be played at any time, so you can play this on turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, whatever. It's not going to change its power. The upside of 3/9 is a bit more than Gladiator, and Gladiator is a very good and very underrated right now card. This also has ongoing synergy with Captain America, Spectre, Mystique, and because it's a 3 cost, it's also got synergy with Surfer. We'll take a look at lists that do all of these things. This can just be a good stuff card, but the 3 cost spot is completely wild, so it's hard to have any real belief or knowledge whether this will be better than Nocturne, one of the best cards in the game, Copycat, one of the best cards in the game, Red Guardian, one of the best cards in the game, Gladiator, one of the best cost to power cards in the game, and that's without even getting into the tech cards like Juggernaut or Cosmo or any of those other cards. This 3 is just insane right now. Bounce uses its energy well, but like it might want this because it can afford to play this on curve and then have a 3/9. Like, unless you're bouncing Sage, this is going to be about the same power as a Sage in a bounce list, so I think it might want to be in bounce. Its upside is very good, not great though, so I think that's likely to keep it out of decks. Alright, our first deck, as always, comes from Docty, the king of new Marvel Snap card content, the new Barry. I haven't called him that in a while. Docty is, you can type in Docty Snap to find another great review of this brand new card. That should be out. Docty recorded this. Docty's chilling in Canada or SnapCon or somewhere or other right now. Hope you have safe travels, my friend. This is a nice, simple tempo list. It's running Storm because, well, You just want powerful stuff in the Storm lane to win, right? And a 3/9 is a lot of power, even if it's not exactly a 3/9, right? Ms. Marvel can add an extra 5 there. Captain Marvel can add the extra 5 there. Claw can add 8 there. Doom can add 5 there. You get the idea. Hydra Bob can pop in there. Nebula can grow in that lane. Jeff can go in there. All of that stuff with Storm is how you win one lane, and then you just sort of say, I've got really good tempo power cards to steal another, and then you should be able to win a lot of games of Snap. Speed seems like it's a really good fit here as just a good stuff card in a mid-range shell. This type of deck used to always be near the top of the Marvel Snap meta, but it has been since last December since we've seen this archetype really at the top. So I'm curious if Speed can be good enough to push it back toward the top. Next up, we have Spyro's Surf going. I played a lot of this deck when Spyro, I always say his name wrong. Spyro, it's pronounced like it's Greek. When Spyro first released it, Spyro's on the podcast a while ago and told us how to say the damn name, so I should do better. But Spyro has this very cool list. Speed is just good power here. I cut, what did I cut? One of the 3s for Speed, and just on the theory that, well, I should be able to spend enough of my energy to make Speed reasonably big. Speed in this list, though, isn't significantly better than Punisher, right? Punisher, assuming that you can get the opponent plays at least 2 cards there, is a 3/5. If I can play Goose on 2, right? So let's say I play Goose on 2, a 3/3. I'm wasting energy on turn 4. Sarah on 5, and then I finish on turn 6. I've got a 3/7 speed. That's fine, right? Like, I guess I would need to full Punisher lane for what this is likely to be. But then if I miss 2, all of a sudden it's a 3/6, and now we're getting a little shifty. Look, this list is stronger than it looks. It puts out more power than it looks. Speed works really well with Captain America. It just offers enough power to be really fairly competitive throughout the board. So I like Speed here. I think it's going to be pretty good. Speed might just want to be Iron Lad in this list, though. Who am I kidding? All right, whatever. Keep going. Next up, we have Safety's Surfer. Safety Blade is a phenomenal deck builder, the creator of Slayer Blade, which was the Professor X Cannonball Ravonna list that was everywhere for a while. Safety is brilliant, creates a million decks. Here is a Safety Surfer non-going. You've got a couple versions of this. This one is sort of running Surfer and Spectrum at this. Well, it's not sort of. It is running Surfer and Spectrum at the same time, saying if I can just get enough power there. Mojo means both lanes should be filled. That's an 8 power. Speed should be a 7 or 8 power. Although, again, you're very unlikely to get that Ant-Man down on 1. If you do, so much the better. But hopefully you can get a 2 down on 2, a 3 on 3, and then if you get Iron Lad on 4, great. If you can't get Iron Lad on 4, hopefully you drew Ant-Man by then. Iron Man and a 2 on 5 makes a lot of sense than Spectrum at the end. I think there's enough power here that this is interesting. Is this going to be consistent? I don't know. It's really hard for Spectrum and Iron Silver Surfer to work together, but look, Speed ties them together enough that this is worth trying. Safety's ongoing counter thing. This is a non-surfer version of this last list. I told you we'd have 2 safety lists. This one runs an extra 1, and then it's just saying I can do the Jean Grey into Cosmo thing, which is so freaking strong. If you can steal a lane, you've got Claw, Omega Red for extra power. Speed is just big here. Keyword big. And again, you should have a reasonable enough curve to get all of your energy spent most turns with this list, which is all you're really looking to do. Is this good enough? Again, we have absolutely no idea. We know it was not good enough before Speed. Does giving this about a 3/7 make it good enough? Maybe. Let's find out. So my concern is Captain America with 2 cards in the lane is a 3/7, and he didn't do it. So I'm not sure. Maybe this is like Critical Mass, though. All right, Darkhawk and Speed. This is one of the places I'm planning on starting. Basically, the Darkhawk lists really like Cassandra Nova for obvious reasons, right? They like having big, powerful cards to play. This is an ongoing, so in a pinch, you can Mystique it. It's just like a good power card for the list that you can sort of play whenever. I don't know. Is this going to be worth it? My guess would be no, but it does have some power, especially if you don't see Ravonna. I know Nocturne is a 3/4 now. Sorry, it takes a while for the deck tracker to update, and again, vacation. But like, this should be very cool and very powerful. We know this list more or less works. We know because of Thena, we want to play things along curve and just play 2 cards a turn. So I think that there's some potential here. I'm not 100% sold on this one, but I think it's good. Next up, we have Conquest Good cards. This is a list that Den found for the Conquest tier list. This is based on the Barzy /Sizer mover list. This basically says speed over Captain Marvel or Shang, and is that right? Nah, probably not. But again, we're just trying to see if speed is enough power to be really good. If so, then this list is good. And if not, then we're going to forget about this immediately. This is my favorite of the sort of like general list for speed. I think that this one makes a lot of sense. The one that has Mockingbird and Sasquatch, because if you can get Mockingbird and Sasquatch cheap enough, and Mysterio is again going to make them both 3s if you can play them on turn 5, right? You can play Mysterio and Speed on turn 5, and then you've got a 3-cost Mockingbird and a 2-cost Sasquatch, right? And that's 5 energy. You can play those with Kitty to end the game. If you have Hope, you can play those with something else to end the game, which is like Mockingbird Sasquatch to end the game. That's reasonable, right? Especially if you've got a gwenpool before, and now you spent all your energy, and like you're doing pretty good, just adding a lot of power. This is probably where I'm going to start as far as just like playing the damn card, because this one should put out enough power that it's just like, cool, I don't mind playing that big card on that turn that could help me win a lane. Next up, we have Lambie's Sandman Patriot. I don't know. This one doesn't hit every turn, right? But like, if you see Ravonna, right, you're going to play turn 3, 4, 5, 6. This might be, I guess, better with the Brood versions. But my logic here is that Sandman into Ultron is at least a 3-5. And if I hit speed on 3, right, now it's a 3... now it's a 3-6. I'm not against a 3-6. If I wave into Onslaught, I can play speed in that Onslaught lane as necessary and get some extra power there, right? Speed, Claw, Onslaught seems like a really strong lane. Onslaught, Iron Man is a lane winner, obviously, but now I don't have to have Iron Man. I can get a little lucky with that speed and get that extra power. So if I go speed, Onslaught, right? And then I go wave, Onslaught, Claw, speed, right? Or Claw, Mystique, speed. I've got a reasonable power lane. I think that's a good chance at winning the game. And like, it gives me just this alternate play route, alternate play pattern. I wouldn't be shocked if this ends up being the best home. Although I don't think it's a requirement for this list at all. Which leads us to our final thoughts. That's like 8 decks, which is more than you're going to get anywhere else for speed. Let's be honest here. Does speed look good? Almost every card they release is good. The last bad card they released was Phastos. Although I think Wiccan is a borderline card between good and bad. I think Wiccan's okay, like verging on good. So almost every card they release is good, though. So speed's not good. It's extraordinarily likely that he gets a buff of some kind. I don't know why I'm playing this over a bunch of 3s. It has good power overall. But, okay, so what we usually do, again, I'm away, so this is going to be really freaking awkward, and I'm very sorry. What I usually do on my Thursday videos is ask a bunch of top players what they think of this card, and they tell me, and then I use that plus data to give you a recommendation Friday. I'm not going to be able to do that this week because I'll be away. I'll see if the person replacing me Thursday and Friday is able to do that to the best of their ability, though. I don't know if they have quite as many contacts as I do, but we're going to do our best. Cool. We're going to do our best, as always, to get you the best and most complete information possible. Wait and see until at least Friday, unless you need the other cards, which we will talk about momentarily, assuming that this wants to change. The stream team streams a bunch of these videos. If you would like to see Prashaun stream these, check him out today. He's going to stream these decks, that Wiccan deck, and a whole bunch more. It's things from yesterday's video and the day before. Hopefully you're interested. Next up, we have... I guess Gregor will stream it today. If Gregor's still at SnapCon, it'll end up being GamingwithFlashX streaming these. Cool. Sorry about that. All right. Jeff the Baby Land Shark. I have a second question for you, I guess. You can answer one or both. My second question is, Nocturne was nerfed. Do you think Jeff should be? Jeff is still the most omnipresent card in the game. Should Jeff be nerfed, or is Jeff just too perfect as is and should be left alone forever? Jeff is a 2/3 series 5/6 tokens. You can move this once. Nothing can stop you from moving or playing this to any location. Jeff is a must-own card. I don't know how else to say that. He is the most common to drop in the game, one of the most powerful and versatile cards in the game. He not only lets you get into complicated locations or play around cards like Sandman, or at times disrupt junk, stuff like that. He's also says if you play him in the spot early and the opponent gives too much power, that is not power that is now lost to you. You can just move Jeff to a lane that you would like to compete in. All right, the first and obvious home for Jeff is this Sandman list. This is one of our standard Sandman lists that just has Jeff, because sometimes after Sandman you go Jeff and Captain Marvel and you're perfectly fine, right? He's also just good power. You can move him around your Ultron drones for extra power. Good card in this list. This is one of the better lists in Marvel Snap, one of the higher win rate lists in Marvel Snap, and it's worth knowing about and playing. And is Jeff required? No, but Jeff is great here. A list that Jeff is required for is this thena move list. This is a classic version of it. This is actually Barzy's version, I believe. It's Barzy's version with Magneto on top instead of Vision, excuse me. So this is basically the Barzy version plus Magneto minus Vision. Jeff is a requirement for like the Thena, Angela, and Hope Summers stuff. So if you like that kind of deck, then Jeff is awesome for it because he just offers you a lot. He's also really, really good with Elsa if you like an Elsa version. Another deck that he's required for, the final deck we're going to talk about, is the One Piece. This is another safety blade list. This is the best Namora list in the game. It has been for a long time. Jeff basically says you can either move him in, you can have him alone in a lane and have an 8-power Jeff, which is Vision, right? Or Jeff can get out of a lane for a surprise Namora hit. Either of these are perfectly fine. This list is still really, really strong and really versatile and worth checking out, especially with Wong in it on top of that Namora. Our next spotlight card is Iron Lad. Iron Lad is much less of a must-have than Jeff, but it's still one of the more versatile and powerful cards in the game. He is very specific to certain builds. If you want those builds, you really, really need Iron Man for them. If you don't have any interest in them, then you can skip this card. But he is very strong, and I'm concerned. A lot of his play rate went down when Zabu left the meta. Zabu used to be a 2/2 ongoing that gave all 4s -1 cost for the rest of the game. And getting rid of that sort of hurt a lot of 4-drops, including Iron Lad. It's entirely possible that we've been told a Zabu rework is ready and planned, and that when that happens, I would not be shocked if Iron Lad became another extremely dominant card, so maybe you just want to grab him now in case of that. So the first list we're going to look at is Sandman Not Boy. This is yet another freaking safety blade list. I don't think I realized how safety heavy today was. This is a Marvel Boy list that also runs Iron Lad. Iron Lad just has so many freaking good hits here. It's got the bad Ultron hit, yes, but Iron Lad on Cassandra Nova, great. Iron Lad on Spider-Ham, you're not too sad, right? Iron Man on Ant-Man, all right, I'll take a 410. Iron Man on Makari does nothing. Iron Man on Marvel Boy if you have Ones Out or Ultron. Iron Man on Patriot. Iron Man on Goliath. Iron Man on Blue Marvel. All sorts of good hits, like 2 bad hits. Great card for this list. An absolute requirement, right? Like a lot of the best Sandman lists. Oh wait, this is not the Sandman Not Boy list. Excuse me. This is a different Ultron Patriot list. But Iron Lad is in a lot of the Sandman versions of this list. You can technically just cut Goliath and run Sandman here. This is like the surprise, not Sandman, I alive you version. But Iron Lad can hit Sandman, it can hit Goliath, it can hit a lot of powerful things. Next up, Iron Lad is not a requirement for this list, but he's in a fair number of Phoenix Force lists because he gives you an extra hit of Phoenix Force, Shuri, or Nimrod, and those are the three key cards you want in the late game. If you've got a Shuri Nimrod, you're in a game-winning position. So sometimes you'll just Iron Lad and see if you hit Shuri, right? If you hit Shuri, awesome, you can drop Nimrod on it. If you didn't see Phoenix Force, you can hit Iron Lad and see if you hit Phoenix Force. That kind of thing is extraordinarily powerful in this list, and thus Iron Lad fits in a reasonable number of Phoenix Force lists. Finally, the one major home for Iron Lad right now is Ongoing Tribunal. If you like Ongoing Tribunal, you need Iron Lad. Iron Lad hitting Iron Man. Iron Lad and Jubilee basically saying, I have the consistency to make sure I hit whatever the hell I want, is extraordinarily strong for this list, and thus you need Iron Lad for it if you want to play the Ongoing Tribunal list, and these are relatively cheap. These are relatively cheap decks for their power level, because Ravonna Series 4, Iron Lad Series 5, and then Tribunal Series 4, all you really need. You have a really great option to do so with Iron Lad in this list. Cool. So this is your chance to get Iron Lad if this is a deck you would like to play. So should you open this week? Jeff is a must-have. Iron Lad is great, but not always needed. However, Sandman, Patriot, and Tribunal are all really great homes for him, including Patriot that doesn't run Sandman. I'm not at all impressed by Speed. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Speed's going to be good. I reserve the right to be wrong. No one has played with this card, and if he's good, great. As a reminder, we're going to do our best to get you more information about Speed later in the week. Wait until Friday unless you need Jeff or really want Iron Lad. Cool. Wait until Friday until we have information. Don't make choices based on speculation. Make choices based on concrete information. Again, unless you need Jeff, we know, is one of the best cards. Iron Lad, we know, is needed for specific decks. Questions of the day, then Patreon, and we out of here. Quid Pro Joe wonders why people stay in after losing 8 in Proving Grounds. Some people are kind of rude and toxic. Some people refuse to snap back. A PSA that I'm going to do multiple times because people seem to have forgotten this. In Proving Grounds, please respect everyone's time if you can. Snap back, stay till 8, win or lose 8, then go on and play your rel game in Silver Conquest where possible. If you don't fist bump back, the person has a chance to retreat and ignore you. But if you're going to fist bump back, do the thing and then retreat at the end. Respect people's time. People have lives. You don't want to, like, I know no one likes losing, but you also don't want to be responsible for ruining someone's day, for making someone angry, upset that they can take out in other ways. And if you are angry or upset in other ways, please find someone to talk to. If you need to reach out to one of us, including me, feel free. It might be a week before I get back to you, but I will. Enough Papa asks, what if War Machine let you shove a 5th card in location? Please, no. I think that would be really, really dangerous. I think that is way too strong. As a one-sided ability. Eventually, I would not be surprised if something let both players do that. But like, and that would probably be an activate, but I think that's too strong. I think that just a whole extra card is too much. Fire Troll is curious if there are any albums I want that are in the game. Yeah, all the thematic stuff that's not there. I've got like some extra steampunky stuff. I want yet more hip albums. I want more specific artists and specific era albums. How is there not a comic cover album? Like, yeah, like every card in the game should have an album. And they should really, like, I know that they're trying to go slow on that, right? Because they don't want to release 50 albums at once. But I think every card in the game should have an album. And then every character in the game should likewise have an album. It was very cool having 7 of 8 or 8 of the 9. I'm missing one of the America Chavez variants, and now like I'm actually going to go buy an America Chavez variant. They should be doing that with more stuff. Get people to buy more stuff. Albums do that. I think it's a great idea. Patreon.com/snapjudgments if you're interested in supporting us a little more. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks, so thank you too. I'm going to do this fast because it's getting late and I gotta go get a child. Abigail Kiesel, Mediter Burnout Cables, Matt H, Irregardless, David G. Wingfield, Direwolf, Alabi, FaThorNewman, Good Dog Gamer, Deucevelt, Inc., I Am Frostman, Jane Everett, Corbin, Brian Bryan, Kertix Lee, Corey Ray, Parafos, The Goat Seeker, Deadman Falcon, Quidbro, Joe, Archangel 3K, Docty, the King of New Marvel Snap Card content, who you should check out for this type of video, Fat Nick, Ginger Prime, Philip Rackwood, Haplo, Candy Loggins of the Danger of Reps, Over the Biz, XFC, Skippy G, Tommy Nyquist, who sponsors Snap Judgment League Season 3 and 1 Season 1, the winner of the sponsor of Season 2 is the aforementioned Prime Brian. We've got the King of Bros, Black Dahlia, the Great Kazoo, Jessica Gamble, Ryan Wood, Kepsi Hoda, Lunacris, Quantum Quinn, John Q, Clam, 8 Sage, Mod Supreme Models, Darth Data, Ramus Satella, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B, JD McDonald, Nothing Fuzzer, Donald Spectrox, Hoot, Matt H, DJ McKagic, Snowflex, Ocularis, Mr. Craig Starry, Seamus Jonesy, Two Ties, Lauren Whatevs, the Parry King Tuccrr, the Homie Man, of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for. If you would like to see some meme decks that really work, check below me. And if you would like to sub, I'd also appreciate that. That should be on the screen right about now, too. Thanks for supporting, and I will see you tomorrow for an extra special Snap Take where we break down the Judge, Arishem.